And I think the change will come from every woman, like, anyone who feels confident about herself, who is aware of her own actions. I think the change will come because every woman needs to know that she's special, regardless of where she's coming from. She needs to know she's special. And once she knows the truth about herself, there'll be no problems. The problem starts when women don't consider themselves special, and that's where the problem starts. Hi, this is Rani Mukerji, and you're watching me on Mirchi Plus.
Hi, this is Samina Sheikh here on Mirchi Plus. With me today, I have an actress who's not seen much often right now, but whenever we see her, we remember her for her roles. Welcoming the bomb who explodes, whenever she explodes with vibrant colors, Rani Mukerji on Mirchi Plus.
Thank you for
So that is how your journey has been, I would say. Like whenever you have been on screen, we don't see you much often right now, but whenever we see you, it's like, we just love your work.
Thank you.
There is too much of emotions you add to your role, and I saw, Mrs. Chatterjee yesterday, and I really loved it. How was it for you personally? Because it's the journey of a mother fighting for her kids.
For me, I think it was quite a journey of disbelief first to start with, that when I heard about the part, I was in disbelief. And what triggered me even further was that when I researched and I went to Google to find out about this case, I realized that the Indian media had extensively carried this case in 2011. And there was chat about it in the parliament, there was Indian government involved, and still as a citizen of the country, I didn't know about this case. So what drove my pattern was, what actually drove me to do the film was the fact that in spite of it being so recent in 2011, and still there are so many of us who don't know about the story, it was an important story to be told. And that's how I decided to be part of this film. And what can I say about the mother's journey? I think Sagarika has been a woman who has stood tall in a fight for her children, because she fought against a country, she fought against her own people, her own family, because she believed that she would get her children one day. And her fight, her resilience, her patience, the strength that she portrayed, and the belief that she kept harboring in herself that, this is what has happened to me, I accept my reality, but I will not give up. And I think that strength is what inspired me to take on her part.
And on a lighter note, when you were screaming, Shuchi and Shubh and all, I started doing that at home, to be honest. Because I feel like, maybe I just felt like, you were too aggressive when the entire chapter happened and, when the incident happened, and I would not like to reveal much, but some impact it had. Like, I was like, Shuchi, I'm doing that, and my mom was like, what is wrong with you? But at the same time, I feel that, that character, the way it dwells, the way it is, the way you tackle in the beginning versus how, you are. You evolve, as the situation, proceeds. Yeah. I feel that was quite good to see, it's transformation in a very different pattern because of the situations like that.
Yeah, because I think, to give you a stray example, if you have a pet dog at home, and if the pet dog is somebody who's really close to you, and that pet dog has babies, you try going next to the baby, that same pet dog will want to bite you.
True.
So it is a mother's instinct that binds her to her children, and it's a mother's instinct that makes her so fierce. And imagine if you take her children away from her, what will that mother do? It is something that I as a mother cannot put myself in place of, because it's a very dark emotion, it's a very dark side, it's something that I don't want to put myself in, because I don't have that strength to be able to go through that pain. So obviously I channeled Devika's emotions, thinking what my mother would have done, because I didn't have the courage to put myself in Devika's shoes. So how Devika reacts or how she behaves, I think it's every individual reacts differently. Devika's journey, I think I tried to emulate my mom. I tried to emulate Sagarika's emotions, that when it would have happened to her the first time, it would have driven her nuts. And with time, the belief that she gets, she accepts her reality. Because first it's a disbelief. How can somebody take your children away from you? You can't fathom that. To the extent that she now is living in that reality, and she's saying that, okay, my children have been taken from me, never mind, but I'm going to fight this. I'm going to make sure that my children come back to me. And that determination is what you see in my character in the second half. Because no matter what, she says that I will continue fighting. You know, you can't put a mother against the wall, but the love you cannot take away from the mother.
True.
You know, a mother can be exhausted, but the minute she is gone off to bed, and if a child cries for her, she will immediately get up and go, not thinking of her own exhaustion or anything. That is what mothers are, and that's why mothers are truly special.
Which also makes me think of, how are you as a mother, protective or possessive?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. And again, I will evolve as a mother with each passing time and each passing day that Adira grows, because every parent has to change their form of parenting with each generation. So Adira will teach me a lot about myself while she's growing up. You know, so I think it is a pattern that we all go through. Our parents raise us differently, then we raise our children differently, and she'll do something different with her children as well.
Rani, the love the film has got, you know, even critics have been praising, and the film, the confidence the team had in, you know, portraying the movie much before its release, I feel that's quite good. So what is that one love message which you would take to you, you know, with you to others, and to whom would you pass it on to?
The love message of the film.
Of the film, yes.
I think especially the team, because as a team we are always nervous, we are always petrified of what the outcome will be. Because we as a team will always work hard to make sure that we are doing the best. But then obviously we are so close to it, so we can't make out if there is anything that is not gone correct with the movie. But when I see the love coming my way through my colleagues, through my peers, through the media people, through the critics who have seen me evolve over the years as an actor, I think it's always special, because they are the ones who actually tell us where we are going right, where we are going wrong, and we also take the constructive praise and the criticism from them equally, and we model that throughout our life, you know, because we are going parallelly with them, you know, with each film of ours. And of course, when the love we receive from the audiences, that is again another high, because we are working for our audiences. True. So when our audiences recognize our work and they pat us on our back, there's nothing more gratifying than that.
And Rani, I remember this precisely. It was during Mardani interview, and I was just taking shots, and I was like, you know, screaming and telling that, you know, silence on the floor, and you were the one who actually commented, saying she's a very strong girl actually. This is how girls should be. Do you somewhere also feel like, you know, how over the years women have been taking specific roles, and you know, that gender bias, which is kind of, it's not completely faded to be honest, but that has changed a lot over the years. Do you feel that?
Yes, and I think the change will come from every woman. Like, you know, anyone who feels confident about herself, who is aware of her own actions, I think the change will come. Because every woman needs to know that she's special, regardless of where she's coming from. She needs to know she's special. And once she knows the truth about herself, there'll be no problems. The problem starts when women don't consider themselves special, and that's where the problem starts.
And last two questions for you. The very first question is from your fans actually, that you promised them that you'll be doing 2 films every year and you have not been doing that. So what is making you, like, you know, stop, or like?
So my only thing that I can tell my fans is that we all went through a pandemic last 2 years. So obviously there were a lot of things that were changed ups and down, things that we had spoken about, things that we were meant to do obviously took a different turn because of the pandemic. Hopefully now with the pandemic behind us, or so we know, because we don't know what's happening with the pandemic and with the virus, but things are much better than what it used to be. So hopefully I'll be able to fulfill this promise in the near future. But for that promise to be fulfilled, this film has to really work at the box office.
And I'm sure it's going to work at the box office because of the way it's portrayed. It's very good, the kind of message it has. But lastly, they would also like to see you on OTT platform. Are you planning to explore that side of yours?
This film will eventually go to OTT, so I'm sure they'll see me on OTT as well.
Okay. Thank you.
After the cinemas.
Thank you so much for your lovely time. And what's next after Mrs. Chatterjee?
I've still not decided.
Not decided yet. Cool. Thank you so much, Rani. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.